Hi there, everyone. This is Jeff Bartholomew with Everest Business Coaching. Thanks for joining us today. Today, we're here for our 9th Facebook Live event, and we're going to talk about how to hire the best salesperson for your business. Before I get started, I'd like to give a shout out to Mike Amend. Mike Amend is a friend of mine in Cincinnati. We went to college together. He's a tremendous salesperson. I promise to say hi to Mike. And also, if you're looking for a great salesperson in the Cincinnati area, get in touch with me and I'll connect you with Mike Amen. So I want to say thank you to everyone that's joining us. We're thrilled that you could be here. I also want to say thank you to Your Own Secretary and Phil Downey. Your Own Secretary is Peachtree City's award-winning secretarial service and administrative assistant service. They're tremendous. They've been very gracious to host us for all of our Facebook Live events, and we're very grateful for their help. So as I get started, I wanted to talk about a couple of things before we get into the ideas I have to help you find the best salespeople for you. And one is that business owners and business leaders are universally unhappy with salespeople. And the way that I know that is that when I talk with these people and I say, how is your sales team performing? I've never gotten a response that's, they're great, everything's wonderful. It's always been, I'm unhappy with whatever. They're never satisfied with the performance of their sales teams. So why is that? There's some universal ideas I have, and I think that a lot of it has to do with frustration. One, they're frustrated with sales performance. So we hire a salesperson, we have these expectations that they're going to sell this much and they sell this much, and so we're frustrated with that. And if we don't have experience as salespeople, we may not understand the sales process or how to motivate them or how to manage them. And therefore, when the performance suffers, we get frustrated. So that's one thing. Second thing is that there's a high turnover rate among salespeople. This year in the United States, 27% of all salespeople will leave their jobs. That's a high number. As a matter of fact, it's double the national average for other occupations in the U.S. workforce. So it's a huge problem, and 27% of the people that sell are leaving their jobs. The other thing is that it's expensive, or it can be expensive. And what I mean by that is that salespeople can be expensive. They can be expensive to hire and train. And if you don't have deep pockets to hold on to someone who may not produce for 6 months, that can be very expensive. I read a report today that if you have a salesperson with a base salary of $40,000 and a sales target of $500,000, if they fail in the first year, your actual cost, with opportunity cost factored in and real cost, is $302,000. But when you think about it, it's really $604,000, because then you've got to go through the process again and hire someone else. So the cost of hiring the wrong person can be extremely expensive. The other issue that frustrates a lot of business leaders and business owners is that when they hire someone that doesn't perform well, that's in the market for a short period of time and fails, it leaves a poor impression in the market with their customers and other people. So getting over that negative impression can be problematic and difficult. So that's another frustration that they have. And the other thing, I think I mentioned this early, a lot of business owners and leaders don't have sales experience themselves. So they're a little bit unclear about the role of a salesperson other than to grow revenue. But a real salesperson also knows that it's not just about growing revenue, it's about growing profitability as well. And so some frustration comes out of that. So the next thing I want to talk about are some common mistakes that are made as we go about hiring salespeople. One is that when we hire salespeople, a lot of people do it based on the fact that this is a people person. So you want to hire a quote unquote people person. And research shows, particularly in the book, The Challenger Sale, that a people person, I should say, I'm having a difficult time with that. A people person, that is someone that sells based on relationship, is truly or literally the worst salesperson that you could hire. Research shows that the number one best salesperson to hire is someone that would be called a challenger, someone that's comfortable challenging in a diplomatic way their clients. And someone that sells based strictly on relationship is literally the worst. So you don't want to hire someone that's quote unquote a people person. Another thing to think about, we talked about this last week, and that is great salespeople aren't born, they're made. And so virtually anyone can be turned into a better salesperson. And some good salespeople can be turned into great salespeople. The second common mistake is not training your salespeople. So what happens commonly is that we hire a salesperson and we give them a lot of company training and product training and industry training, but no sales training. And that can be very difficult or very problematic because we're letting people go out into the market and they haven't been taught how to sell the way that we want them to sell and in line with our culture. And so their failure rate can be extremely high. The next thing is that we hire people who don't fit our culture specifically. And what I mean by that is that you've got a culture around your company and you take a flyer on someone that you heard is a good salesperson or may have performed well elsewhere, but they may not fit your culture. They're kind of abrasive or what have you, and therefore they don't fit the culture and they turn out to be a poor fit. And again, that can be very expensive. So your next question might be, well, hey, Jeff, you told me why we're frustrated and you've told me common mistakes that are made. So what are the best ways to hire a salesperson? Well, I've got 7 ideas to share with you today. So the number one idea is that you want to interview your very best salespeople. And with them, you want to understand what makes them tick. Why are they successful? And from that, you want to develop a success profile. A profile that then I can then take to the market. When I go to interview people and ask for referrals from other people, I know what I'm looking for. So as I'm interviewing people, I'm trying to match my candidate to my ideal person. So that success profile would be a tremendous starting point. The second thing is that you want to cast a very wide net. And what I mean by that is that when you go out into the marketplace, I know a lot of you will place an ad on your Facebook page, your business page, or on LinkedIn, or some of the other job sites that are out there. And that's great. And you'll find some people that way. But the number one way to find a great salesperson is to go out and through referrals. And what I mean by that is that research shows that 70% of salespeople that land jobs do so through referrals. They're referred from me to you, or from you to me, or what have you. So finding those referrals is very important. So you want to cast a very wide net. The third thing that you want to do is that you want to assess every single prospective salesperson that you're looking at. And when I say assess, you want to do that based on their fit. And by fit, I mean, how do they fit within your culture? Do they have the intellect that you need? Do they have the industry background that you want? Do they have the experience that you want, and so on. And you want this to match up to that ideal profile that you've created so that you're getting the exact person that you want. The other thing that you can do is to do a profile where you pay for a profile. I offer these. It's called a DISC, D-I-S-C, DISC profile. And what you're able to do is I'm able to evaluate salespeople. Let's say you had 5. Put them through this evaluation, and we can then stack rank them top to bottom on who's most likely to be successful and who's least likely to be successful as a salesperson. So you always want to do an assessment. The fourth thing that you want to do is you only want to hire salespeople with a proven track record. It's very difficult to hire someone new into sales, and I don't typically recommend it unless you're a big company with deep pockets and you can afford to have someone not produce for 6 months. I would always recommend that you hire someone with a proven track record. The other thing that I would recommend is that you invest in training. You want to spend money developing your people. The reason that that's important are a couple things. One, I want to hire people that want to be developed, that want to get better, that want to develop themselves as salespeople. I know over my sales career, the companies that I've been involved with have invested heavily in my development, and I've been through multiple sales trainings, and the salesperson I am today is based on the cumulative effect of all that training and the other sales experiences I have. But being committed to my own development and having someone willing to invest in me has made me a better salesperson. The sixth thing is to hang on to your best and fire the rest. And what I mean by that is when I say hang on to your best, what I'm referring to is that you want to hang on to your very best salespeople. These are people that are driving the revenue and the profitability for your company. So you want to hang on to them. If you lose them, you're going to go through that expense, and you don't want to do that. Now, I also said you want to fire the rest. If you have low performers, people who aren't performing to your expectations, who aren't hitting sales quotas or who aren't living up to the culture of your company, you want to get rid of them as quickly as possible. One, because you want to get other people in who can be making a good impression on your clients and hitting those revenue targets that you have. But the other reason is that you're trying to make an investment in these people. So you want to treat these people like it's an investment. And if you were to buy equipment for your company or invest in new technology, you want a return on that investment. And so as I look at salespeople, I look at them as though I've made an investment in them and I'm expecting a return. So the other reason that you want to fire the rest is that if your high performers see that you're tolerating low performance within your sales ranks, then there's some likelihood that their performance could fall off as well, because you've basically proven that you tolerate low performers in your organization. So the seventh one is that that once you hire a great salesperson, you want to go back to them and ask for referrals. So if I hire someone great, I want to say to them, Phil, thank you for joining the company. It's great to have you. Are there 2 or 3 other people that you know that you could recommend to me that I could interview for other sales positions here? And the reason I want to do that is that successful salespeople tend to hang out with other successful salespeople. So they probably got access to a pipeline of others, and I want to tap into that. So one of the things that I wanted to make mention as well, I want to make sure that I mention this, and that is in terms of getting referrals from others. When I said you want to cast a wide net, one of those groups of people that I would go to would be other business owners that you know, other sales leaders that you know. And the other place, the best place in my mind to look, and I know that I forgot to mention this now that I'm saying it, is I want to go to my customers. I want to go to my customers and ask them, who are the best salespeople that are calling on you today? And then I could share with them what my success profile is for a salesperson so they can keep an eye out for me. And that's a rich field of expertise that I can draw on to get great salespeople. So I hope you found value in what we've talked about today. And I've got a call to action. Actually, I have 2 of them. So the first is that if you email me or call me, I'll be happy to invest an hour of my time for free with you. And I will create that success profile with you so that when you go to hire your next salesperson, you're hiring the very best. The second call to action that I've got is that for the first 5 people that reach out to me, I will give you a free salesperson assessment the next time that you hire a salesperson. So reach out to me with that. So here's the deal. Next up, 2 weeks from today, August the 21st at 10 a.m., we're going to be offering another Facebook Live event. Same channel, same place right here. And the title is, What is Clarity and Why is it so important to running your business? So I'd like to say thank you again to your own secretary for hosting us. And thank you to all of you for joining us today. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you.